Welcome to the Jamodi podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is Jamodi, just a matter of doing it. What daily habits set you up for success?
And coming from my faith is the first thing we do is just reading the Bible every morning. Getting up and just being humbled to be able to do that. And one of the things that I've stolen from other coaches is I have a calendar that I've planned my days in advance. I plan my week in advance, and I have a daily calendar that I can tell you what I've done since 2012. And it's one of those where, my wife will kind of make fun of me a little bit, but, I'm very detailed of it because there's so much that goes on, like you said earlier, like just coaching basketball is a ton of work, and to do it right. Like there's so many things you want to get done. And so to have it all organized for me is huge. Cause I showed the time management, the one I think you looked at just a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We talked about time management on Monday. And I encouraged our players. It's like, look, this is just something that it could help, whether you want to do it or not, or, but it's just a calendar that's a daily calendar. Then it turns into a weekly and a monthly calendar, just because it gives you an idea of things that you've done, and I'm kind of a weird, it's maybe, I guess, a little bit of OCD or whatever, but
no, I think it's awesome.
I color code it, and there's different things like different days. I know that if it's on
Buzz
Monday,
Williams,
if I get
man.
it done, it's
Buzz
this.
Williams.
Yeah, Well, and I guess I say a lot of it is from him. And I did it before, but I did it in a little bit different. Like I used to have it in my old where they I could flip through and actually a calendar that I write stuff down in. But then I got to the point where it was like I didn't always have it on me, and so to write things down, I would put something in my phone, then I turn around and write it in the calendar. And so now I do it on Google Docs. And so I have everything. So if I just need to, add something to it, I pull it up real quick, put it in there. But that's a huge thing for me as far as my daily habits, because again, there's so much to get done, especially as a head coach, as a teacher, and everything else that goes inside of just the school system, that to me, I tell them, if you don't write it down, you'll forget. It doesn't matter how good you think your memory is. You'll forget what you do 5 hours ago, 5 minutes ago. And so that's some of the things, like we have our practice plan. I write all over our practice plans. And it might be something that I'm thinking about, hey, we need to do, or, inside of our practice for next week, or it's just something I'm like, okay, I forgot. I need to talk to the players about this, and I'm writing things down. But that's another habit that it's, I give a practice plan to each of our coaches and encourage them to keep a pen on them, and just so that if something comes up, just write it down. And then we also keep a binder, all of our coaches, of all of our practices, things we do. And so that way, when we go back in, you can always think, well, when did I implement that, or when did I do that? But if you don't have it down, you're like, even written down, you can plan it, but really, how did it go? And so what that does is allow me to go back in, and I can flip through, I keep them in order, so I can flip through and go, okay, we implemented it here, it worked well, but maybe this didn't. And so maybe I can change something for next time. But it's, that stuff is just keeping up with stuff that we do daily, and not thinking we can just remember it when it comes up this next time.
I got one ask already from just with talking with you. If you're willing to share what that calendar looks like with me,
absolutely.
I would appreciate that. Would make us, that we'd be even right there. Just that.
Yeah, no. I'll share it as soon as we get done. That's no big deal at all. I love it. It's like I said, it gets kind of weird, but it helps me to stay organized.
I think I'm a little weird, and so
I think if you coach, you have to be.
That's
a little
right.
Bit, especially now.
There's not many normal dudes out there that do. I think do what we do. So.
When we put in the hours, you start looking at it. It's like, no, we don't do it for that. It's one of those that, it's just fun to watch these kids.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the Jamodi podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.